What's up everyone? So today we got a very special episode. If you guys remember, I posted a tweet a couple of days ago asking my followers to name 4 coins that they wanted me to short, and I would short the 4 most requested ones. And today we got, I'm announcing 4 coins that I'm gonna short. And so these types of short requests we're doing in the Bourbonist community like every day. We got a team of 50 members who are very active, and we short for the members every day, right? So, and I try to do these type of videos exclusively for the members of the Bourbonist community a couple of days a week. So if you guys like my stuff, and if you guys are interested in getting your own coins shorted on a daily basis, and seeing all these kind of setups being posted on a daily basis, definitely head over to thebourbonist.com and check out the community. Like, I've been in a lot of paid groups, right? I've been in a lot of Discord groups, and like, to be honest, the Bourbonist community is something special. It's definitely one of the better communities out there. And if you guys are looking for a place to learn how to trade, if you guys are looking for setups and educational material, and just a place to hang out and talk to other traders and learn the art of trading, definitely check out thebourbonist.com. Right, so enough of that. Let's just go and take a look at the shorts. So the winners are XRP, obviously. Everyone wants me to short XRP. We got ADA, Cardano, and we got VET, VeChain, and Link, Chainlink versus Bitcoin. So we're gonna start off by looking at XRP for you guys. So yeah, let's just dive right in. Alright, so let's start off by looking at XRP here on the weekly. So I've got this RLC drawn here using this low here to this high up here. And my initial idea here was, back in December, I wanted to long the midpoint of the RLC, this 0.702 Fibonacci retracement level, confluent with this green support area here. So obviously that didn't work out well. We got, we just dumped straight through here. And so my next thing I wanted to look at, and what I've been waiting for, is a show of strength, right? And we have been consolidating here in this gray, you could say, from here down to here, this area here. We've been consolidating here for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks. So a long time, obviously. And what I've been waiting for is a break of this area. And the reason why I wanted to wait for clear strength before longing is, well, we're at the lows here, so we could just dump straight through and just continue downwards, because looking at the high time frames, we are obviously in a high time frame downtrend, right? And when you are in a high time frame downtrend, the trend is your friend, right? And the trend is down, so favors are in the shorts, for the shorts, I mean. So I always try to wait for strength to be shown before I long, and right now we're seeing a very nice move from XRP. We broke out of this consolidation area here. We are now trading right above the RLC. We're getting rejected by this yellow 2-1 EMA as expected. And looking at the daily here, we have this white line, the 200 simple moving average here. We are just now trying to fight this level here. So if we do get a close above the 200 SMA, I do expect a move higher to this level up here. We have this bearish order block here, daily bearish order block here, and the EQ here fits pretty well with the purple 200 EMA. So if we close the daily above this area here, I anticipate, you could long a retest of this area for a move up towards this daily order block right up here, confluent with, in the same area as the 200 EMA. So that's what I'm looking for on XRP. If we get continuation from this breakout here. So for me, looking at this right now, I want to see a break, you know, a daily, preferably a daily open and close above this area to long the retest and target this order block up here. But if we do, you know, if we fail to hold this area, this support here, confluent to the 200 SMA, if we fail to hold this area, I'm looking to enter on a retest of the breakout level, which is this one. And what I'm seeing right now is a potential fake out, right? Because you have, just like you had here, let me show you using this one. Just like you had here, you had a strong impulsive move up, rejected by this area right here, and next candle closed below. So that's kind of like very similar to this one, right? Very similar. So if this candle closes below this support area here, we could, you know, anticipate a move down and close down here, and that would signal a fake out, right? But if we do close this daily above here, we would have a change in behavior, and I would say a confirmed break in market structure. So closing above here would confirm, you know, the daily high and a break in market structure on a daily. So really looking at this area here, this here, and these wicks touching the area here, and how strong this move here was when we actually broke this SR level, is kind of tells a story here, right? And the story is this area is very important and it's a strong area, and if we do break above, we should see this area act as strong resistance. So I know a lot of you in the Burbness got in around this area, which is, you know, congratulations guys, it's a very nice move, but we're at resistance right now, right? So we need to break above this area to continue higher. So if I would, you know, if I would enter this, I would probably not enter right here, but we have a possible setup forming here. Well, basically we have two setups forming, but the first one I'm eyeing is this one. So long the retest of the 200 simple, target the EQ of the daily order block up here for a 15% move. Stop loss is, I would probably put my stop around this level, right below the 99 EMA, and you know, below that one and below this wick. So below support and the 99 EMA. And what the reason for keeping the stop loss tight here is if we get stopped out here, we will have another opportunity to enter down in this area and a retest of the yellow 21 EMA, right? So let me show you how that setup would look like. Something like this. You layer bids inside this area here for an average entry down here. You target this area up here. You could use, you know, if you want a very wide stop loss, you can use this one, but you know, if you want tight one, you could use below this accumulation area here. But for a high time frame trade, I would probably keep my stop loss somewhere down here and take partial profits up here and then here, and keep some for the higher prices. Because if we actually retest down here and we start bouncing up and take out this level, we could see some really powerful moves from XRP. So if we break above here, next target would be this one, and then finally this area for about a 50% profit. So very nice trade, even using a wide stop. So that's kind of like my my outlook on XRP right now. And this kind of lines up nicely with the weekly outlook too, because if you look at the weekly here, you have the yellow 21 EMA here, and if we do, you know, close a weekly above the yellow 21 EMA, come down and retest it, we have, you know, next area, you know, next high time frame resistance is between you know, somewhere in this area, right, for about 40 to 50% move. So it lines up pretty nicely with the higher time frames too. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Right now I'm seeing a lot of FOMO on Twitter, and a lot of people asking me if they should enter XRP. And right, I should probably change this one to red because this is resistance right now. And guys, if you see a coin pumping and it's right inside a resistance block, you shouldn't really be buying, right? Because first of all, FOMO buying a pump is not a good idea, and especially not if it's at resistance, because buying that's not how you do it, right? You buy support and sell resistance. You don't buy resistance and sell support. That's a very bad trading strategy, right? So what you want to do here is either wait for this resistance here, wait for price to get rejected here, come down and retest this area, or break above here, close a daily here, and then long a retest for a target up here. So that's my plan for XRP. Hopefully you guys find this useful. If you have any questions, please just leave a comment on the video and I'll try to help you out. So yeah, let's take a look at something else then. Alright, so next up is Cardano, ADA BTC. So I've been looking at this range for quite some time. I think it's looking very nice actually, and I like the fact that the weekly 21 EMA is actually complement with the range EQ here. So I've marked out the range EQ as a green box support here, and range high as this red box resistance here. And if you guys are wondering where this is coming from, it's basically this this bearish daily order block here, and these dotted lines in the middle here is the order block EQ. So what I'm looking for here is for price to get rejected by this order block up here and come down and retest range EQ complement with the 21 EMA on the weekly and this red box, a green box resistance, sorry. So very simple. We had a test of range low. We came up and basically this test of range low had a full range resolution. So this move here took us to range high. So if we get rejected up here, I mean this whole move looks pretty good. So definitely a sign of strength, right? And the 21 EMA, the 55 EMA, and the 99 EMA have all crossed the 200 simple to the upside, looking very good. So for a trade of the EQ here, I would probably enter somewhere. I would layer my bids inside this green area here for an average entry around this area. My stop would have to be below all of these major moving averages, sorry. So below the 200 SMA on a daily. And first take profit would be the order block EQ for a 2.2 R, so acceptable risk reward ratio here. And I would obviously save some of my position in case we actually do break above here, because if you look at ADA here, if we do break above this area, there's not really much to stop us before we hit this area up here, right? And that's a pretty powerful move. So I would probably take somewhere between 25 to 50% profit up here, save the rest for a move like this, right, for a 60% profit. So what I would be looking for here is come down, test that area, major resistance here, and then if we break above, I will be looking for a retest and then up above. So you could play this a couple of different ways, right? Either you long here and sell everything here, and then you wait for this area to break, and then you enter again on a retest and sell everything up here. Or you could just sell a small portion of your position and then wait for a break above and then enter, buy back what you sold here, right, for a move up here. So that's my outlook for Cardano. it's looking very good actually, and if we do break above this area, it's looking very, very good. So notice how in this area here we have the 21, the 55, the 99 EMA, and the 200 simple, and the 21 EMA on the weekly, all confluent inside this area. Alright, so I think that covers it for Cardano. Next coin is going to be VET, VeChain, so let's take a look at that one. Alright, so let's take a look at VET, VeChain versus Bitcoin. Here's the weekly, and I really like this chart, right? So if you guys remember, back in October, November, we had this crazy pump from VET. It pumped over 200%. So most of you, if you were trading back then, you probably remember this pump. And so everyone was trying to enter this pump, right? And I remember, in the Nest Club, we had a lot of members asking if for retracement levels, and if they should enter, if they thought, if you thought we could see higher prices. And I remember painting, when we got this high here and we got rejected, I remember painting this RLC here, and this is just a great example of how powerful the RLC could be, right? And can be. So as you can see here, we have price retracing all the way back to the RLC, and bouncing off the midpoint of the RLC. I had this green box support marked out here right above the midpoint, because it has some good price action here, and considering it being inside the RLC of this weekly move, I did anticipate a bounce in this area right here. And if you look at the daily here, we have the 200, this white 200 SMA right in the middle of the RLC. And when you get this kind of confluence between the midpoint of the RLC being, you have the, this support box right here, you have this being the RLC, and you have the white 200 simple right in the middle here. And when you have that kind of confluence, you will most of the time, see a pretty powerful bounce, just like we had here for a 20% move, right? So that's why I always try to keep in mind where the RLC is, and when they have this powerful impulsive move up, we most of the times will see a retrace down to the RLC, like we did here. So right, we got a bounce of the 200 simple here. Looking at the weekly, we have the weekly 21 EMA above here. Price is getting rejected by the 21 EMA, so I do anticipate a move down here, rejected by the 21 EMA here, and probably move down. Actually, we already got a move down to the 21 EMA in the daily, so this is looking pretty good. Actually, it's looking pretty good. If you guys are looking to enter on a retrace, I would probably enter somewhere in this area for a move up to resistance up here. So it's looking pretty good. I mean, it bounced off the 200 simple here, confluent with support and the midpoint of the RLC, and it reclaimed the 21 EMA in the daily. If we can actually, I mean, we got the daily open and close above the 21, so longing the retest of the 21 up here for a 20% move isn't really a bad idea, to be honest. But you could also, I think the better risk to reward trade is putting in a long down here after retest of the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, the high of the RLC, using the 200 simple. If you want a wide stop, you can use this one as a stop loss for a 3R. You could also place your stop at 59 sats, right below the 60 sats support, but that's right on the 200 simple, so I would rather have my stop somewhere in this area. So that's a possible trade idea for VeChain. It's not really optimal. I mean, the optimal setup would be to to catch this bounce to long. I mean, that would be the best setup, obviously. to long the bounce of the 200 simple and target this area up here. So looking at the high time frames for VeChain, so we already had the bounce down here. So I would not want to be a buyer on a second retest. I would either wait for the 21 EMA on the weekly to break to the upside and long the retest, or I would wait for, you know, this area, because this area down here was actually the breakout level. Looking at the weekly and the daily, this was the breakout that took us to the high. So it would make sense to retest this area. If we do get a move back down to this area, I would want to be a buyer for maybe a longer term trade, right? What's bothering me down here is we don't really have any major moving averages or anything down in this area here. So I mean, up here around 60 sets we have some nice confluence between moving averages, but down here we have basically nothing, just a support and resistance area, which is okay, right? So either, you know, wait for this area here to break and long a retest, or wait for this area up here and long a retest, targeting this high confluent with this support level, and the second target would probably this area confluent with this support area here. Right. So that's my outlook for VeChain. That next coin I'll take a look at is Link BTC. Alright, so here we go. Good old Link. Chainlink versus Bitcoin. So this one is pretty straightforward, right? We have this yellow 21 EMA on the weekly confluent with the range low and this support zone here. So that's the area I'm watching for a potential retrace and bounce. And we have the range EQ confluent with this red box resistance up here. I'm either looking for a retrace and bounce down to the weekly 21 EMA, or a break and retest of range EQ for a move up to range high. And if we break this one, I would like to long a retest targeting basically all-time high and the price discovery. So that's the weekly outlook. Let's take a look at the daily. We have right, so this yellow horizontal here is the 21 EMA. I like to mark out the 21 EMA as a horizontal line here, the weekly one, to be able to know where it is in relationship to the daily moving averages, and like I want to know where it is when I'm looking at the daily chart, right? So we had we had a bounce down here, but we didn't really test range low. So the next test of range low would actually be, you know, the first retest after a very nice round the retest, right? So I'm looking for a move back down to range low confluent with the 21 EMA on the weekly. So I would like to be a buyer down here. You could probably use for a stop loss. Let's see how the setup would look like. So entry would be somewhere in this area. Stop would be, I would probably use the low of this wick here, because as you can see we have the white 200 simple right here, and in a couple of days it will probably go a bit higher. So the stop would be below the white 200 simple and the purple 200 EMA here, so somewhere in this area. For a move up to first target would be range EQ, and if we break and retest that area, second target would be range high. And as I said before, if we break this area, I would, I'm gonna be targeting all-time high for a nice 45% move, and after that it's price discovery. So I would probably enter here, partial profits here, partial profits here, and some profits here, but I would probably leave a small moon bag, right? Because this one, if we break this area, this one is just gonna fly, right? I mean, it's been shown in the past that Link has, it's looking really bullish, really bullish. I mean, look at these moves, right? We are in a very nice uptrend right now. So yeah, that's my very basic outlook on Link, but I don't think it needs to be more complicated than that. And like trading don't really need to be very complicated. I mean, my TA is based on, I trade what I see, right? And I trade what the price action that I'm seeing, right? So if we come down and test this area, I'm gonna, you know, try along. And if we break this area, I'm gonna try along and retest target to this area. So yeah, that's it. That's just my analysis on Link. So that's it, guys. All right, so that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys want me to short any more coins for you guys, you could just join the Birdnest community, send me a message, and I'll short whatever coin you want. And see you around, guys, and don't forget to follow and like the video. Take care.